now, and all I want to do is just keep it moving. That's all I want to do.
Oh man, how many times have we flashbang dance? I don't know if we can get Brazil to do it, but perhaps you can get them to flashbang dance across train. Let's talk about going into this next map. Preparation for you guys coming to this tournament was a little iffy, so talk to me about train.
I mean, you know, there's not much to say. I can give you a cliche answer, but what we're going to try to do is win the match. We're going to try to do it with our best head on. There's not a lot of strats in our book, but there's a lot of play to be had. I have a skilled group of guys on my team, just kind of showing up, doing our thing.
Well, you guys look extremely comfortable out there, and I guess, do you have any parting words, Jordan? Maybe perhaps to your team, maybe to Stu, he just walked by?
Not much to say. Let's play some Counter-Strike, keep making some noise, guys.
Oof. Big oof right there. Thank you, Jordan. We're going to be giving it back to the desk where they can continue to break it down.
It's all an entertainment before any of you start getting upset and tweeting about how much you hate Jordan Nothing Gilbert. It's for fun. It's a video game. Calm down. And it's a whole lot of fun. I love that he's embracing it as well as he is. But yes, he did have a fantastic performance. I mean, Maniac, I'd like to start talking about that just because it wasn't only him. It was Chris J and Nothing ripping apart SK like a knife through butter.
No, absolutely. I think Jordan had a beautiful performance, to be honest. Yeah. Chris J was extremely annoying with his ult. But I just want to touch the point that, for me, was a turning point of the side.
Sure, absolutely.
So if I set the stage, I think mousesports is a 5-4. SK just won 2 straight rounds building out of short. They would get the entry kill. They would just overrun mousesports from short. And then I think SK had the right idea. They realized that they forced mousesports to play with 3 dedicated players towards A, whereas they could have like a 3rd player towards the middle. Yeah. So they knew they had forced mousesports to be 3 towards A, and they lost 2 consecutive gun rounds on B. And I think for me that was a turning point, because had they won those rounds on B, they would have completely lost mousesports in the grand scheme of things.
Sorry, I don't want to ask you to repeat yourself, but just help me understand. So there were 2 rounds, it was 5-4, and they started stacking A.
At this point, SKA had won 2 rounds in a row on A. Okay. So what happens is, if you're mousesports, your logical response to that is to stack this A side with at least 3 players, whereas you could possibly cheat a 3rd player towards the B side if you wanted to. And I think SKA identified that very well, and they played the B side, which is, in my opinion, the right call. Yeah. But at one point, they lost a clutch. I think that was 3v4 bomb side. That, in my opinion, is T side favorite. Yeah. And the other time, Robs had a crazy triple kill to save mousesports from that round. So from this point on, it was really the mousesports show, and rightfully so, they played amazing. But I think SK wins this round, might be a different side.
Could very well have been a very different story to tell, but we do head into a new map now. Any closing thoughts on Dust 2? Anything else, any observations you made, Jason, that need to be said?
I just think not really nothing crazy. I think in reality it's just, I mean, you can't start 0 to 11 down. You just can't do that.
That kind of can cut that whole conversation short. They had opportunities, but unable to really profit from them, and a really kind of flat result from SK. I mean, I'm looking at the half now, 11-4, just.
Here's the thing overall on Dust 2, and just in the whole context of the series and even bleeding into Train, is we might have done a little bit of a disservice to Jordan and to Nothing, talking about how he can kind of have that intangible impact. This guy was once a world-class player. If he's going to play like that on Train, I don't see a lot of hope even for an upset, despite the players. That's too deep of a mousesports roster, too deep of experience. And even though he said we didn't have a lot of strats, I mean, even Stunna kind of gave him a little bit of grace and said, you know, preparation was iffy. It was non-existent. So, I mean, this is a really cool performance that mousesports is bringing out here.
Yeah, he had a fantastic performance. Chris J back on the AWP as well, as he looks like he's got the 1,000-yard stare. What on earth is that? Looks like he just got flashbanged. You're right, Chris. Anyway, Counter-Strike continues on our second map, Train. And to stay on track, I poke you then, Maniac. They haven't got any preparation, but SK, I'm pretty sure this was, at one point or another, their very, very best map. I mean, we've seen SK on Train in the past. Evidently, it's not as comfortable for them as it used to be.
Oh, no, absolutely. I'm not exactly sure what record, but I'm pretty sure they held some kind of record as to win streak on Train.
I want to say it was like 18.
18, I had 18 at the tip of my tongue.
And I remember that their victories back then were extremely one-sided. That was not a question. They did not want to play against SK on Train. I think this period also coincided with Fallen being extremely powerful on the AWP. He had this fashion of AST or CT being extremely impactful, being able to bail SK out of very difficult rounds. So he would have to do that today.
I mean, that was you said that actually in the pre-match, just that Fallen, Train, deadly combination if he's feeling it. He wasn't on Dust 2.
Yeah, but he doesn't even need to like necessarily carry it through a whole map. Obviously, that'd be great for SK, right? But if he can, like, the first 6 rounds of the CT side, for SK is going to be so critically important, because if he can establish some dominance with the AWP, if he can make mousesports fear his ability with the AWP just a little bit, that's going to change how they want to play, because that's when you need to dig deeper into the playbook. You need to go to the more complex things that they haven't been able to just kind of throw together with nothing in the lineup. So you have to kind of, the first 5-6 rounds of this half for SK is going to be so important.
Yeah, it's going to be about a strong start. It's going to be, once again, flying off of that pistol. And if I'm not mistaken, this was, let me work this out. mousesports pick train, so I assume...
SK, well, you would assume they're going to pick the CT side. It would almost be crazy if they didn't.
So they could get off to a flying start here, Maniac. Is there any other win conditions? Oh, never mind. It sounds like it looks like the game's about to start. Ooh. So, Belo Horizonte, SK 1-0 down. This is all they've got left. One chance, one opportunity, and they're going to need everything you've got. mousesports could knock down the hometown heroes on their map pick. Let's get into it.
Thank you very much, Alex. The stage is set. We have the heroes in the form of SK and the villains with nothing almost being the face for that, and he's embracing it so well. So coming into this one, mousesports, they've gone for a nade and a Molotov. That, to me, suggests just going to go for this B play, have the molly either for connector or for the after plant. Going to be feeling good about that one. No smoke, still he's here with a defuse kit and a flash, and he's already been forced out of the bomb sites. They go running on in. There's the molly into connector that we're talking about. That denies these rotations. As a result, mousesports going to go very, very aggressive, looking how to try and challenge these rotating players before they even get into the bomb site. And it's Stiko to open up. Fallen answers back, but Stiko, quick double, leaves Fur and Bolts left in a 2 versus 4.
Yeah, Fur, well, he did not have a good performance on the previous. He needs a huge one here. Does manage a second shot already in the pistol. There's 2 more to go. He's got to go back and try and retrieve himself that kit to buy him a few extra seconds. Obviously, a very open bomb plant, but you look at the position of the remaining 2 players, and I don't know how much that'll benefit them. Chris J is going to be pushing around. This should be an easy kill for him in the end, and it's very similar to the last pistol. Very one-sided. Someone brings it back a little bit, and then eventually mousesports do exactly what was needed of them. They take themselves the pistol round. And well, again, I just like the setup there. They had everything planned. Molotov thrown in, open bomb plant for all the players to play around once they went aggressive, and, well, now they go in with the rifles. Although, I will say, the second round by SK Hab is one of my favorites. I love myself some double scouts.
Yeah, they become a budget AWP between them, and it's going to be worth its weight in gold when it comes to softening up these players for those upgraded pistols. The CZ and Deagle in particular are going to be looking to do some damage with them. Fallen. Oh, gonna tag up Rops. Not even sure how he saw him there. Tiny little avenue, and Fur gonna decapitate Sunny as he looks to try and bound in towards, say, bomb site. Now the rest of the team responsible with trying to trade and find these openers, but you already have Rops tagged down low. He was a bit of a star in the previous map for them. Fallen still playing around here, spots out Chris J, hops on down. There's players all around, and Fallen has to tuck himself away. Over on your screens as well, you can see Bolts on this flank. If they can slow them down enough, maybe Bolts can do something, although he does get discovered. Fallen going to tag up Stiko even more. Stewie now emerging from the bomb train. Finally going to get toppled. It's Fur and Bolts left 2 versus 3.
Yeah, what was looking like a pretty decent scenario now becomes, well, impossible. Bolts left with the CZ. Nothing going to wipe down the remaining players. A triple for him already. He definitely has looked good over this tournament, feeling confident to say the least, of course. Well, we actually had the stat of in the previous map, that was, what, Fur's worst performance since something like 2015.
Yes, it's like 0-16 by Fnatic. You remember that?
That's just mental.
Very, very early days, Tom.
Yeah, of course. But still not something you really want to witness.
On stage, in front of the home crowd, the worst performance in, 3 years. Since you really kind of made your first big performance. And here's Stiko charging towards this B bomb site. Chris J mopping up all the kills. This should be all said and done. This is a bit of a write-off round anyway, as it was just pistols across the board for SK. Let's not forget, they're over on that CT side. Train, CT-sided map, you'd expect them kind of come out of this half with around about 10 rounds, finding the pistol, finding the Anticos. That's going to help mousesports out massively, considering this is their map pick. And all these kills they're getting now, combined with what? It was 3 players surviving in the previous?
It's not bad, though.
Yeah, they can get away with that, Tom. They'll take that all day long.
Yeah, AK-47 into the hands of Fur. I'm pretty sure he may have already, or he's very close to matching the amount of kills he got in the previous map. So at least that's something. He has already managed to sort of reset things back, and definitely a player they could use. Chris J going to dunk out Fallen, and Walt Fur is left to just sat back and relax and try and hold on to this AK-47. Not looking like anybody will be able to remove that from his hands, so that's at least a little bit of a bonus for SK going into their first buy round. But in terms of an AWP, well, it's not going to be happening, so that won't be coming in. And I definitely do agree sort of with the desk, the idea of like his thing, like him or their success coinciding with Fallen doing well on that AWP.
Most definitely don't have the money to get that out, and let's not forget this is already one of the this is the deepest run, sorry, for SK since Stewie joined the roster at like a top tier event. Well, already smokes and flashes raining out in towards his B bomb site. Fur's fully blind, but somehow he's going to find himself two, maybe even a third. And Fur springs to life. What a fantastic opener, found by the man who struggled so much over on Dust. Leaving Sunny and Chris J to pick up the pieces. They've been dismantled on this offensive, and it's Fur at the helm. Sunny was able to trade. They still have so much more to find.
Well, Sunny, a man I more than love to watch on this map. Already doing a hell of a lot of damage, but can't quite find himself the kill. Chris J going to be pushing back in. coldzera from above. There's already multiple players here, and the bomb is dropped in the open, something they need to try and retrieve. Well, Volts is going to shut him down. It is left onto Chris J. He's tagged within inches of his life, and that is going to be a round on the board for SK Gaming.
Crowd's feeling happy about that one, and it's a resurgence for this man on your screens right now. These kills, clinical as ever. That's the sort of confidence boost that we need to see from Fur. I think you're right, he's already outdone his performance from the previous map.
Oh no, he definitely has now.
If he can hit the ground running here on Train, if he can really deal with what went wrong in the previous and start to put up numbers, then yeah, the SK are not out of this one just yet. The buy is still able to come in from mousesports. That previous round was an attempt at the bonus, just holding forward majority of weapons from the previous. They have the AWP out on Chris J. A little bit limited in terms of utility on Sunny and him. Nothing relegated down to a Galil. No way, however. Flushing Fur out from Pop Dog for the meantime.
He is going to take a little bit of early damage. Of course, already we can see the limitations to the buy of this T side. Fair bit of utility missing. They already have Chris J boosted to try and spot anybody over the top of the trains, but won't find anything just yet. Look at that nade. Stiko and Nothing both getting tagged, about 90 damage done. Well, now we start to see some utility being expended by mousesports. 40 seconds left on the clock as they are still building up to hitting this B site. Stewie is going to be ready and waiting. coldzera there to try and hold on with his teammate, and that's exactly what he does. He finds a quick double, almost a triple from Cole, but it seems like he's done enough for his team. It's Chris J and Stiko to try and turn this back.
Fallen's already come rotating in. Chris J going to try and lead the charge. Does manage to frag to Stewie. As now it falls to Stiko. 1v2, 3 HP to his name, 9 seconds on the clock. It's all stacking up against him, and Fallen on that scout locks in the second round for SK. AWP going to be retrieved. They get that for free, and now they've reset the economy of mousesports. They're going to look to tie things up very early on here, as it is just Glocks out now for this mousesports side. Double AWP going to be coming in, interestingly enough. Always feel a little bit risky that when you are up against these pistols. You can see Bolts adopting the MP9, looking to try and use this opportunity to make some extra money. You've already seen his willingness to go aggressive. Down through Ivy, this time he turns his attention out to main. There's players in Pop. Bolts and Fur combining with that nade. He's going to keep on pressing the issue. They know that Bolts has gone aggressive here. Not much into this round. Anything they can find is going to be great. They managed to get Fur and find his AK. gives them something to work with now.
Yeah, and Stewie's in a very powerful position, though. Has that range advantage, nothing that Chris J can do. And while Rop's left with that lone AK-47 and no control of the bomb, you can see the switch up in angles as well from Stewie, knowing that he's going to have a great position for anybody pushing. Bolts will close this down, and well, scoreline equalized, 3-3. The T's now have a buyback of their own. The question is, can mousesports build into this T side? Definitely seen them have some troubles in the past. Well, we've witnessed them a couple of times, in fact, just get absolutely bodied when it came to this T side. And the fact is they do have their AWPer missing, which, although I feel like the boots have definitely been filled throughout this tournament so far, there's a chance that could end eventually.
There certainly is. You're not going to be having that double AWP potential either when they move into their CT side. Bolt's looking to go aggressive early on here. Down in Ivy, wins the fight out versus nothing. That's the man advantage. Grasped very, very early on. mousesports, no way they can find a trade or an equalizer just yet. As you said, actually, Sunny takes it in his stride, goes peeking out from main. There was Fallen keeping an eye on it, so must have missed the shot. Or just missed that timing on the peak. Now they find themselves back in a 4-on-4. mousesports, they're going to slow right down for the time being.
Yeah, they've already expended so much utility from the SK side. A couple of incendiaries and a smoke left. Same can somewhat be said for mousesports. But this is the man I want to be watching on this T side. I think if anybody's going to open things up for mousesports, it is going to be Sunny. A pleasure to watch on train, and well, he's heading in to the grasp of Bolts, but the timing may get the better. Well, I was going to say if Bolts actually works out in his favor, he can now slow things down. coldzera up aggressive, manages to find an opener, sprays through the smoke and does damage, but Sunny pushing in has found one, and Chris J gathers up another. It's down to this double AWP setup. 30 seconds left on the clock as Fallen sits on the site. They're looking to try and bait out a shot from him, but now Stewie comes into play as well. Both AWPs just sitting almost within inches of each other, and the bomb's going to go down, but Sunny, he's there to trade it back. It's left all on to Stewie, looking for the pick and finds himself one. Sunny as well! What a shot from Stewie! Where did that come from? No scope. And that is going to be SK taking themselves the lead, 4-3. What a clutch.
Stewie's been christened here today, a Brazilian citizen, I think, hands down. He locks in that 4th round. My goodness, he holds down that angle, the gap in the smoke, he takes full advantage of it.
It looks worse the second time.
He's just so slick. Here's Stu, and now for the force buy for the side of mousesports. They've chucked in what they can. Sunny with an AK, everyone else ecoing, they can get a buy in the next. Sunny going to turn his attention away from main, leaving Rops and Stiko here for the time being. SK, you feel them starting to get warmed up now. The crowd know it. They've gone quiet for a bit, Tom.
That's enough to awaken any crowd.
That most definitely is. Now, Fallen keeping an eye on main. mousesports, another slow round from them. It's a brief moment of calm before the storm that Push about to come on in over here towards this A-bomb site, and Fallen looks to try and hold his own. The flash comes in, that's going to get thrown courtesy of Chris J. Fallen, missed shot on a Sunny. He's the man with the rifle, remember, and he's looked good so far for mousesports, but are they going to be ready for Fur, who currently sits down in the pop dog, down in the back line, him and coldzera. They dismantle this push on in, and while Sunny manages one, his time should be coming to an end any second now. As Fur finds him, Chris J is left 1v4.
Managing to retrieve himself a rifle at least for a second, but coldzera is going to put him to bed. SK confirm their lead as the buy in the previous doesn't work, but it was somewhat of a sort of mixed buy, really. They can still get a buy back into this one over on the mousesports side. The loss bonus obviously hitting its maximum, so that was more about just getting some damage done. And although Sunny will not have much utility in that round, this round I should say, it's not actually going to make that much of a difference. It's the rest of the team with the utility. He's just looking to barrel his way straight out in towards this site, and he's actually snuck into Olov, which could be a bit of a problem. Look how aggressive SK are actually going. They probably don't know he's there, and this position, oh no, this could be a real problem. He's already going to find himself a freebie kill. Bolts goes down as well. That's both aggressors caught just off that aggression, but 2 quick kills back. The double AWP setup going strong once again. It's different players holding it this time. Stewie fairly aggressive on B, and he's the only one on B. If he goes down, this is going to open up the site, trying to take a better position, but Rops will decapitate him and open this B site up.
Double AWPs in the retake. This is going to be a pretty gruesome one for SK. coldzera tries to find a shot on the timing. Now the question becomes, do they even decide to go for this? Fallen on this wrap round suggests they might, but a lot of this is going to come down to if they have any success in the next few seconds. You can see looking hesitant. I think the call has come in. They're just going to look to go for these exit frags, perhaps. Steeko went peeking into it. There might have been a timing and alternate reality where Fallen finds something here, and then we see them go for it. And while he does find the frag, it is nothing more than a consolation for this round. They do damage to the mousesports economy. That's what they were looking to do. But it is going to be a 4th for Mouse. You feel like after the 2 shots found by Fallen and coldzera, there was a real shot, them getting back into that.
Yeah, it relied on Stewie to at least get a kill there. That was the thing. He was solo on the site. The problem is with someone like Robs coming out of that upper position, he can just wreck you at times. He is an absolute machine when it comes to that AK-47. However, those 2 AWPs being saved, that's enough money for SK to get a buy back in and a chance to reset mousesports straight away after just getting back on the board. Bear in mind, it was 5 rounds in a row for SK Gaming. Here we go, look at the aggression from Fur. This is what we like to see from the Brazilian. He has support as well. The crowd is with him too. And well, Rops and Chris J, all that remains. Rops is going to be able to end Fur's life at least. Stewie actually aggressing. He doesn't want to get caught out here. Fallen has found Chris J, and Rops is just unbelievable. Headshot after headshot. However, he needs 3 more, and the bomb's left in the open.
Yeah, this is not an easy task for Rops, especially not with coldzera looking down here towards the ramp inside of B. Rops might be able to find a timing where he can catch Cold, but it's not meant to be. SK, a 6th round here on their CT-sided trade. And it seems like all the necessary players starting to wake up. Mainly, the man you're going to be looking at, Fur, had one of his worst performances, actually the worst performance since 2015 when they got 0-16 by Fnatic. Back on dust, now top of the board here on Train. 13-7, his aggression seems to know no bounds. It's vintage Fur, he's rolling back the years, as Henry would so often say. And well, just P250s, Glocks, couple of flashbangs, that's all mousesports have left in their arsenal in this round. They're gonna be heading over towards the B-bomb site, where coldzera and Stewie wait to try and pick them apart.
This is all about the bomb plant. And they should realistically be able to get it. There's quite distant CT players. They got a couple of flashbangs to try and leave them blind. And yeah, all they really care about is getting a bomb plant here, taking a kill or 2. That would be perfect. Now already, coldzera is going to pick off 1. Can they stop the bomb from crossing? That's the real thing, and yeah, they can. Although almost it doesn't make it. coldzera just cleans things up. 4 kills on the eco, 7-4. Oh, God. I love it. Absolutely love it. 7-4. T-side now, they can get a buy, but there will be some limitations to it. That bomb plant actually did make quite a big difference. Chris J's not going to have any armor behind his AWP. Steeko's not even going to have a rifle. He's stuck with the CZ. And on the other side, a double AWP setup will reign in again.
Yeah, and this has been key for SK. Now Sunny tries to go aggressive. He's going to get held back by the Molotov, tagged down a little bit as well by Fur, who's been such a nuisance over towards his pop dog position. They just haven't been able to contend with him. Chris J watching for the aggression from Bolts and Ivy. And mousesports, they're looking scared right now. They're so wary of any of these pushes that can come on through. Because we've seen how frequently SK like to aggress now that they've built up this confidence. The flash going to go down into pop. It's a nice one. They fall into the crosshair of Fur, but Stiko picks up the kill. Bolts. That's the easiest kill of his life. Chris J goes walking into it, 4-on-4, as he smokes off the Ivy position.
An important resurgence there to not give anything over, but Stiko does manage to retrieve a rifle, so this 4v4 sort of benefits them, but it doesn't last long at all. Fallen definitely looking like he's back in play with this AWP. And while the T side looking like they're about to head towards the B side, but there are actually a couple of players ready and waiting. coldzera with that AWP once again. They've decided against leaving Stewie here alone anymore. It wasn't working earlier, so they've rectified the problem. Rops looking for those openers. He's been excellent at it so far. The question is, can they get these players off of this site? No, they can't. Stewie pushes. It's only going to be one, but he's got Cold to support him anyway. And Stiko, well, the bomb plug would be nice, but through the wall, he's dead. Another round for SK. And I'm getting deja vu here. We saw Liquid come back in the second map after being pretty much bodied in the first. SK, they're looking to copy at least one of their Brazilian comrades.
Yeah, maybe they're just wanting as much time in front of this crowd as they can get, Tom, as they look to try and take us through to a third map. For those of you who are just joining in, map 1 went the way of mousesports. It was Dust 2, the map pick of SK, the map they've been trying to make home. We had a very, very weak performance from Fur. Coming into the second, it's SK in the lead right now, 8-4, and Fur, the man who struggled so much in the previous map, is having the resurgence of a lifetime right when they need him to.
Yeah, they've got everything at the moment. They've got Fallen popping off, someone who in recent times has been pretty quiet. coldzera back to his sort of god mode. He's 14-5 at the moment. And we've sort of had this conversation from both teams, like, oh, if mousesports, if everybody goes off, oh, there's very little SK can do. Well, I feel like the same could be said for SK. If everybody's going off, there's not much that can be done. Sunny, he's tried that aggressive push once again. It has failed miserably, but the rest of the team are going to try and head in onto Fallen. He's got that AWP. They only have pistols, so him getting overwhelmed would be a problem, but it doesn't look like anybody's getting overwhelmed. A completely flawless round from SK Gaming. They hit their 9th on this CT side. And while mousesports, they're looking a little flat.
Yeah, it's back to the drawing board here for mousesports. Everywhere they go, SK Gaming are one step ahead, winning these opening duels time and time again. The only place they were having success was Rops finding the entries into B. And even then, with the adjustment of moving coldzera here, that has turned stale this time. They're just going to go for this B play, it looks like early on, sending everyone towards this avenue of the map. coldzera, he does fall at the first hurdle. And now on the back of it, they look to go charging in. The pressure falls to Stewie and Fallen. Fallen hits the deck. Rob's going to go walking in. It's Stewie to line them up. 2 kills makes this one possible. Just as you say it, Sunny's straight in with the return. Bolt's left in a 1v3. That nade somehow doesn't find nothing. And the flank from Sunny could be the play that ends this round.
Oh, he's doing so much damage to the remaining players on the site, but can't quite finish any of them. And as you said, Sunny in from behind should make this impossible, but Sunny actually kills nothing. That gives away his position and actually takes down one of the opponents. Chris J, thankfully for mousesports, will finish off that kill, but oh. Maybe there is a little bit of bad blood against the standing.
Sunny's trying to get on the crowd's good side right now.
Oh, God.
Doing everything he can. It is going to be a 5th round for Mouse. They've hit what would be kind of their quota. Nice attempt from Stewie, but ultimately the trades that did come through for mousesports are fantastic.
He's so ready. He even kills his teammate. Well, it's always good to see. Final round of the half. We have a buy up onto both sides. Rifles, utility, even an AWP for Chris J. But the double orb's going to come back in turn this time. Fallen wins himself that opener. Chris J is going to play no further part in this half. They are going to gamble a second player back towards the B site now that they've found that opening. Sunny, though, always seems to be there to trade things back. And it's going to be able to fade away before anybody can kill him off.
Yeah, they've slowed right down. Sunny currently finds himself trapped. Does manage to get on by, just misses the timing from Fallen. Nothing up on this boost, hoping that he can spot out one of these players. It's going to be Cold Zera that he's looking for, but won't find anything. Slow round once again. The plan is have Sunny come on round on that flank in from Ivy. The rest of mousesports stacking up, about to hit this B bomb site once again. It's Stewie and Cold Zera to try and keep them away and hold back the coming tide of Mouse. Push about to come through. Throwing all the utility, and actually it looks like it might be a fake. The bomb rotates away. Stiko tries to sell it. Does tag down Cold Zera. The rest of the guys in towards A they go. Fallen lands the first, and now he has to do all that and more. Forced off the angle. Nothing going to be the next to walk into the gauntlet. Fallen looks to try and shut this round down. Stiko pulls it back as best he can. In a 1v2, Stewie seals it. It's a 10-5 half. SK. They managed 10 rounds here on their CT-sided train. Is that going to be enough to take us through to a third map and keep them up on stage in front of this home crowd that much longer?
Well, our third map, in case you didn't guess already, is Inferno. All the best series in Counter-Strike end on Inferno, and I'm hoping SK Gaming can do what they're currently doing and take us there. We've had some highlight moments. We've had some big plays. We've had some massive step-ups across the board for SK Gaming from what we saw on the previous map. However, now mousesports go on to that all-favored CT side. Yes, they have a stand-in. Their AWPer is missing. But at the same time, they've still been excellent so far.
Look at this crowd as well. They are rallying behind SK. And that is one beautiful sight. The lights lighting up the stadium. In the same way that there might be a brighter future for SK in this second map. This is unbelievable. We're about to get into this one. The second half. SK trying to take us through to Inferno. As you say, where all great series culminate. They've got the Molotov for Fallen, 2 smokes, 2 flashbangs. They're going to be walking over here towards this B-bomb site early on, leaving Fallen with his smoke. Back at A. With the 2 smokes, it might be the A play with players aggressing in through Pop Dog. Can throw a smoke down for Connector. One up on the bomb train as well, and that does look to be the case. They rain in, and now this push set to come through. It's going to be players exiting out from Pop Dog. Fallen from main, they go running on in, and there are players here. There's 4 players from mousesports to try and keep them at bay. The bomb looks to go down, and it's going to be a 5v5 in the retake.
A bit of a different plan, that's why it's not found, but actually, Chris J already manages to find a pick back. There is a kit onto Stiko as well. Nothing goes aggressive, misses a few shots, but does manage to find the frag. And I wonder if he spotted Cold Zera as well. The interesting thing, though, is Stewie wrapping all the way around through the connector. He could be the linchpin, but they've got to stop the man on the diffuser. That's exactly what he does. And leaves it down to 2 versus 2. Sunny and Nothing desperately trying to get back in there. But Stewie, he may have just done enough. He's bought a lot of time for his team, and I don't think there's any time for the defusal left. Stewie has won this round and ends it with the 4. Brilliant round from the man who may not be from Brazil, but I think he may be at the moment.
He most certainly is feeling it, Tom. There he is, the man on your screens. Really pulling through for SK when it counts, winning the pistol here, going to put them up 11-5, and if they can convert the next 2, they will be but 2 rounds away from map point. So close to that third map. They're going to turn their attention over here towards B. SK, they've been more than willing to go aggressive on their CT side. Even the pistol round was pretty fast. But this time they're going to slow right down and apply the brakes early on.
Rops already tagged pretty low. Normally expect to see this guy as the lone defender of the B site, and he pretty damn good at it. Pretty damn good at it. But in this round, obviously, severe limitations for mousesports. Chris J not going to be investing too much as he wants to make sure he can have his AWP into the buy round that won't come in for a couple of rounds. Of course, by that point, we expect to see SK on 13. The fact is, though, these pistols should not go amiss, especially Sonny with that deagle. I think there's highlight clip after highlight clip of him on this map with this very gun, so we'll see if he can do it once again. Clock beginning to tick, and SK getting ready to set up over towards that A side of the map. The smoke looking to fall in once again. They've got a couple of them to play with. Not that much in terms of utility, and nothing actually still has a smoke. He could buy quite a bit of time. That's exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah, that's going to go ahead and leave them with about 14 seconds if they wait for that to fade, so they have to go through. Sonny's holding close, and he's going to get spotted out. They know that he's here now. He's doing so much damage through the smoke. Chris J and Nothing manage more frags, and they go running by Sonny. This is a shooting gallery for him, and it is just Cold Terror left. Somehow, mousesports looking like they've done it. They're going to find a sixth. They managed to win out the force buy there. And for SK, that's just gut-wrenching.
Yeah, not only does Nothing get himself 2 kills, but that smoke that won them the round. Hands down, that won them the round, because SK had to go from being fairly methodical in their play, looking to try and clear out angles, to running straight through a smoke. And that is where just panic ensued, and that's where those pistols are more than valuable. So, again, Nothing showing his value in this mousesports side. Of course, Sonny did hit some shots with the deagle. I'm not surprised by that by any stretch of the imagination. And now, well, a fair few rifles picked up for mousesports. And all that remains on the SK side is a singular scout and some pistols.
They really do not have much to work with, clutching at straws in this round to try and find something that works. Some sort of formula. Rops is alone inside of this B-bomb site, but this man is one hell of an anchor. Waiting patient as ever, SK. Time on their hands, Fallen. Gonna tag up Sonny. Even damage done to Nothing, but he's gonna answer back with some damage of his own. Suddenly for SK, they've got a man down. Ooh. Coldberry spotted Rops. That's prompted the rotation in from Sonny. And actually, they're rotating everyone over mousesports. They've over-rotated 3 players into that B-bomb site. If SK went quickly, they would catch Mouse out of position. They're just going to miss the timing onto it, but there's Fallen with the opener. 30 seconds on this clock, 4 on 4, damage inflicted onto Sonny. There is still a chance for SK here.
And they're going to go back to B. There is only that one man there, the man that we sort of talk about when it comes to this B site. Rops, the young gun from Estonia, will have to try and hold back the might of the Brazilians. They don't have much weaponry though, and they really don't have much time. He drops the bomb, and this is over. He's got to watch out. There's a man above him, but he does drop the bomb. He hears the footsteps as well, spins around, and well, shuts this down. Fallen is going to try as he might to get the bomb down, but it's not happening. A masterclass from Rops of positional play, and it will be that 7-11 scoreline.
Yeah, now for SK, they just have to take the eco. They just have to grit their teeth. This round not going to be pretty. It will just be Glocks across the board. mousesports, a team that, in the past at least, has so often struggled with resilience. Not showing that now as they look to try and claw their way back into this game. Going to be looking to go 8-11 at the end of this one before SK managed to get their buy on the board. Fallen can go for an AWP in the next round. So they will have that to work with, at least one flash invested into by Ferp. They're just going to like to explode out in towards one of these bomb sites, and the positioning of Stewie does give them a slightly nicer angle to work with. He can look to try and use that Glock up close, but you're really not expecting much. And there we go, he goes down.
Yeah, this round is pretty much a write-off. They've got to try and just do a little bit of damage. If there's some sort of miracle play that gets them the bomb plant, that would be wonderful, but can't really expect too much here from SK Gaming. They're playing with the bare minimum more so just hoping for some sort of mistake to come out. mousesports, of course, will get things right back up to 8, and that sort of second round is one that SK may live to regret. They managed to take that over the line, and they are in a much more commanding position. Well, we're looking at around 13-5. Instead, mousesports are only going to be 3 rounds behind. Of course, all the pressure here on SK Gaming in front of their home crowd. And also playing against a team who do have a standard, although I can't even say that seems to be much of a detriment anymore. Like, nothing has played so excellently through this series that, wow, maybe mousesports should just pick him up.
Yeah, you know, maybe we'll hold off on the conspiracy theories for the time being, Tom. We'll wait till all is said and done, but there's no question in the fact that, you know, this won't be the last we see of Nothing, I don't think. He's definitely impressed after his time away. And well, now this buy comes in for SK. Rifles upon rifles. mousesports going to be going for their attempt at the bonus round, courtesy of keeping all 5 alive in the previous, and it's aggression early on that nets them that frag onto Fur. They've already taken control of main. Look at the effect this has had. SK caught now, trying to find a trade, trying to find the equalizer and stop mousesports from running rampant behind enemy lines, and they're not able to do so. They do just slip one out, so man advantage gains for Mouse and no way of answering back for the Brazilian squad.
It's worth noting as well that considering Fur was like way far in front of everybody else on the scoreboard when we're in that first half, he's now level KD-wise, so he has gone a little bit quiet. That could definitely be a difference maker here. mousesports always had an excellent CT side of this map, so this game is nowhere near done. The sneak coming in, Rops and Sunny, the tag team on this B site. Rops, I would expect him to get one here. Actually misses the first shot, but does do the damage nonetheless. Tries to fade away, but will they expect Sunny up close? The answer to that question is no. Already taking one. Nothing then rotates in, and Bolts, well, Bolts is nowhere near. He was meant to be that sort of last-ditch flank to try and catch players off as they rotate. The fact is, there's no flank to be had. One player dies, and mousesports are going to be able to keep the remainder. And just look at the cash already starting to build up. There'll be a few players around that $10,000 marker once it comes to the end of this round. Bolt's looking to try and maybe reduce that slightly, and he does take down Stiko. But the fact is, going into the next round, he may be the only person with any money. 2,900 will go into the hands of his teammates, and he's just going to have that solitary rifle. Now, actually, him saving this is not the worst thing in the world, because after this round, they'll get maximum loss bonus, so he will be able to afford an AK and armor plus anything extra with the kills he gets. So this is actually not bad. It's a chance for him to do a bit of damage.
I always can't help but think how different it would have been had they converted that anti-eco over in the second round. mousesports on the back of that propelled themselves very much back to the forefront of this game. They're looking to try and end this here and now in 2 swift maps. SK doing anything to pull us through to Inferno, and it's going to be a fast play in towards the A-bomb site from Stewie. He's been throwing that AK. The rest of the guys out from Pop Dog. Chris J pops Stewie. Sonny's now looking to try and get his piece of the pie. He's going to double down, leaving Bolts and Fallen backs against the wall, being swarmed onto. Bolts, while he does manage one, the nades just come raining in, and Rops on the flank shuts down SK in that round. They weren't expecting to get too much done with the rifle, but that was very well controlled by mousesports, not letting it get out of hand, not letting the AK find anything.
Yeah, 5 rounds in a row now for mousesports. We saw them 11-5 down not too long ago, but they have strung rounds together since that force by victory. We are seeing SK Gaming taking themselves that tactical pause. They can get themselves the AWP onto Fallen, no trouble. Cold Zero Co will be in with the rifles, and well, you can see Chris J, I think, like, this is almost like when Oscar comes back, it'll be one of those moments where, yeah, he'll have to give the mantle back, but at least he will have kept that alt warm. I don't think there's any doubt that anybody's looking at him and going, oh yeah, he hasn't performed. He has been excellent so far in this tournament. Crowd obviously trying to rally SK, and well,
I was going to say, yeah, it sounds like the Portuguese cast is just down the way. Have definitely got the crowd believing in SK in this round. So if they've done it, we can do it, Tom. Let's see, can SK work hard to maintain this lead, or is this where mousesports tie things up? In map number 2, mousesports currently sitting 1-0 in the series. SK hoping to recover and take us through to this third map. I think they might find solace in a faster play out here towards A, where they have to contend with the man himself, the man in question, Chris J. Up on the boost, who hasn't missed many shots today. Push about to come in. There he is, finding the first. And now they know where the railgun's position. They look to try and avoid it, but Stiko surprises them. A second AWP chiming into this round. Fallen doing what he can with the big green gun. Does manage one. Still has so much more to find. Fur looks to slip by, and nothing's not missing a beat. It's Fallen and Cold Zera, an iconic duo, but still 2 men down, fighting to keep themselves in this round nonetheless.
Yeah, they've got plenty of time to play with them by the looks of things. They're going to allow Fallen to try and make one of those critical plays. I don't think he spots his opponent, and well, nothing is going to happen here. A 6th round for mousesports, back-to-back, and only a single player going down. They really are performing. Chris J was on 16,000, so he's going to easily be able to buy his AWP back in. That's the biggest problem as well, that the rounds that they've been winning have been so clean that the fact is mousesports just have so much money now. Even if they manage to win a round back, there's going to be 3 coming up before they actually destroy that mousesports economy, and even then the loss bonus will start to play in. So SK, they need something, they need it now. Well, the buy may not really suffice. They've got some MAC-10s, they are going to go back to running straight through. Stiko, you got to be careful, buddy. That MAC-10 is going to take him down, but it seems like even still, the fast pace is more just going to be how fast this round ends. Nice shot from Fur. At least gives the crowd something to cheer about. Can he do anything more? Rops waiting round the corner. He's just going to put Fur to bed before he's allowed to take another shot. 12-11. mousesports, after being 11-5 down, take the lead.
Yeah, this is brutal. I mean, after Fur hits a shot like that, maybe you think something could happen. Once again, trying to get the crowd rallied behind SK. As you said, Tom, they had a 10-5 lead. This was 11-5 at the start of the half. And now mousesports, not only have they caught up, they find themselves in the lead. And that right there, that is probably the most down I've seen this SK side look in quite some time. The lights are out once again in the arena, everyone banding together to try and show SK that Brazil is behind them no matter what. We need to see more from this SK side. mousesports, double AWP, back out. Stiko and Chris J going to be fielding them. AWP for Fallen. And now the question becomes, where can SK find their success? Because right now they've had none of it on this T side.
Yeah, Chris J has been unstoppable, and well, he's only the beginning of the cast of mousesports. They haven't actually needed to come down to these closer round scenarios. We haven't seen too much B presence from SK in the last few rounds, so it is looking like we may see something a little bit different. Again, it is just going to be one man over towards this B site. It is Rops to try and hold it once again, alone as he finds that first kill and just looks to try and hold on to it. Bomb is going to be planted, something we haven't seen too much from SK Gaming. The fact is, though, they're already playing with a man down.
Yeah, this is their second bomb plant in the entire second half, so they're looking to try and hold on to this one. Now, they haven't been given this opportunity all too much. Rotations coming through from mousesports, and it's Fallen the first to step up to the plate. Fur's there, Fallen in with another. They found where their success might lie. They think it's inside a B, but Chris J looks to change their mind. He even burns out Fallen, and now they're back in this one. Cold Zera and Bolts. A tall task ahead of them. Cold Zera, damage done. It falls on a Bolts, and Rops is forced off the defuse. Times tick too low, and SK, they're gonna find themselves a 12th round. They dig deep when it matters most, and they've tied things up once again.
This is everything for SK. This round right here is absolutely everything for SK Gaming. They lose this one, they have no money. almost definitely have to force, and we could see, well, pretty much map point come in for mousesports. The fact is the CT side still have loads of cash. There is no way SK are out of the woods just yet, but Fur, well, he's looking to go fast. They're looking to speed up the pace once again. Fur leading the charge, Stewie running through that smoke, but it's nothing to kick things off. Sunny to combine with him to give them the man advantage. Make it 2, in fact. But Fur needs a hero play. He spotted both players, finds himself one. Knows that Stiko's around the corner and has the support from Fallen, but it is all but left onto Fur, and Sunny's going to put him to bed. 13-12. You can see by the look on their faces, they know how crucial that round was as the money hits SK hard.
Yeah, this is the definition of a harsh reset for SK. They have no money. They know the importance of that round. You can see the looks on their faces. That's the round you're going to be heading into with all the pressure on your shoulders. This time around, with the weight of the world on it, it looked like it was too much. 13th for mousesports. They retake the lead once again, a chance for a 14th, and it looks like SK, they've gone for the tactical purchase. AK up on bolts, hoping that he can do something alone. They do manage to get some utility up on Fur. They're going to go for the force. They're going all in. They want to try and make the comeback happen here and now, but a loss here means they're eco into the next. And at that point, you've handed series point the way of mousesports. So it is all on the line in this round, Tom. So much to play for. And all that pressure now falls onto the back of bolts with that one AK. They had success on B. That was the one round they've been able to get. I guess the 2 rounds, they found the pistol here as well. They're going to go back to basics.
Once again, we've witnessed Rops be magnificent down on this site. He's even going to have a little bit of support from Sunny as well. I think they might realize that, well, there's more than a chance they could just be going for a bomb plant in this round with the amount of damage that's done. But here we go, quick push in towards the site. They need that opener. Fur already down to just 1 HP, but they are going to take some closer control. The fact is, though, Rops always seems to be good for 1. In fact, it's a double, and this is just a slaughter. mousesports, they dominate that round. Heads back into the chairs from SK Gaming, as now they have nothing to play with, and they pretty much have to let the map point go.
Yeah, force buying here means you're force buying to the very end of the game. On the flip side, you let this one go away in mousesports, you do manage to get a buy into this next round. You won't have the AWP, you won't have everything you need, but you'll have the firepower at the very least. And then you have to try and win 3 in a row to force overtime here on the map pick of mousesports. mousesports already being 1-0 up in the series. That would mean they win it if they find victory here on Train and lock in their spot in the finals. SK now are the last hope for there to be any Brazilian representation on that final stage, and it almost wouldn't feel right if they weren't there. They're going to try and play in towards this B bomb site. They just want the bomb down, but Rops, good for 2. The trade does come in from first. The bomb's going to go down at the very least for SK, and that's pretty big. It gives them that much more to work with into the next round. They're going to have utility. They're going to have all the trimmings of a buy. There's still a chance as well. First found an AK. That nade onto bolts leaves him. Now nothing to find for 15-12. mousesports going to go ahead and reach match and series point here in the semi-finals versus SK.
Well, this is it, really. This is mousesports' chance to get themselves into the grand final versus FaZe, who are already waiting for them, obviously eliminating Team Liquid earlier in the day in a 3-map thriller. And well, I know at least myself and many Counter-Strike fans at home will be hoping, and in this room, that we'll get to see Inferno.
I definitely think the people in this room are going to be thinking
they're a little bit biased, but you know.
Double AWP sport out. Rops, interestingly enough, going to be picking one of those up alongside Chris J. But fast out towards this A-bomb site, but it's Chris J. Aggression at Ivy. He is going to get mollied down low. Fur's been tagged to 14 HP, and Stiko even hanging around. Fallen does have a bearing as to where Stiko is, but he's allowed to cross on out of there. So mousesports going to maintain the man advantage at series point.
Yeah, this is where SK Gaming, they need themselves a hero. They've had the crowd behind them all the way. One big play can be enough. We saw Stewie with a 1v2 with the AWP earlier in the match, which set them up in that first half. A 10-5 half it was. Remember, this was 11-5 at one point. 10 of the last 11 rounds have gone the way of mousesports, and they just need one more to finish off this series. A couple of players over towards that upper B portion of the map. Rops. Oh, he even jumps up. I was about to say maybe it'll be whack-a-mole. In fact, the mole strikes back. Nothing finds another, and Stewie and Fur is all that remains of SK Gaming here in Brazil. They've got to try and save their team here. Fur will at least manage to find himself one. But can they do it?
Well, it's the new boy to the team, Stewie, to get this bomb down. 2 versus 4. This is to keep SK in this. They still need to win 2 more after this round. Stewie, we've seen him do magical things with smokes. He's going to get tagged over the top a bit, and up close, nothing's there to find him. Fur, 14 HP, doesn't expect the wrap round. Sunny drops him, and mousesports, they're going to do it. They close out this series in a 2-0 fashion, securing their spot in the finals tomorrow versus FaZe. There won't be any Brazilian representation as mousesports send SK home, which for nothing, this is the second time in his career now he's been able to do that.
I thought you might mention that.
Even sending home his old mate Stu. Congratulations to mousesports and commiserations to SK. The crowd are going to be feeling this one. There was so much passion, so much emotion in this one room. We're going to throw this one over to the analysts to break it down.
Wow, sensational. Jordan Nothing Gilbert, the Grim Reaper of SK on home soil, it seems, as he's once again sent them packing here in Belo Horizonte. A spectacular 2-map series where mousesports, without their operating at full capacity, still best a roster, a double major champion. It's going to be a hard, bitter pill to swallow as well. SK, they craved it so much, perhaps even too much, to get onto that grand final stage, to lift that trophy. Taken away from them by a solid, strong, consistent performance of a team hamstrung by a stand-in.
No, but I mean, also, I don't think it's been much of a hamstring in this kind of in this match, at least. Nothing played very, very well. He played adequately. Actually, I mean, even more so than that. He had 20 kills in this one. But I mean, really, I think 2 things. One, Chris J was stellar throughout these 2 maps of this series, and also for SK, as much as we've kind of talked about, and I've mentioned it, that it looks like they're on the right path, right? Their CT side seemed to be okay. It's the offensive side where they really haven't figured out how to get things going. That T side was very uninspired, didn't find an answer. You could see there, crowd and mousesports exchanging some respect. But that T side from SK, it was just, there were a couple times you saw them trying to enter into that outer bomb site with no nades, and they're trying to run the gauntlet against a double up, and it's just not going to work frequently against mousesports.
No, I agree. I think mostly against a double up, you really need to go deep into those executes with flashes and smokes if you want to survive. Also, losing the pistol, losing the entire eco, that didn't put them in a good position.
We do have a winner over on the stage. We're going to speak to Nothing now, as he's going to be addressing what has been a spectacular performance from himself and his team.
All right, great victory by mousesports. I am here with Nothing, who had the difficult task of replacing Oscar, and you did it so well. Also, you did as promised. You won the game and was able to upset the crowd. Could you give us your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm here just trying to play some CS. I'm definitely not replacing Oscar. That guy's a god-hopper. He's got a special role in this team. I'm just happy to be here and not cause them any problems, be able to stay with the pace they want to play. I'm proud to say that, you know, without a lot of practice, I'm still able to show up and do what's necessary to beat top teams in the world, and I'm just really happy to play in front of this great crowd.
Your general behavior as a team, it seemed very chill. It seemed like you were having a great time. Do you think that was probably the key to the victory?
I just turn, we smile at each other, keep the fist bumps going. It's round to round. These guys have played in finals before. They know exactly what to do. You know, maybe a laugh here and there is all I'm bringing and some smiles. But other than that, I'm following their lead this event, and they're showing me the way.
Nice. And you guys are going up against FaZe tomorrow for the finals. What are your expectations?
Good game, man. We both kind of have a ringer on each team. It's going to be a bloodbath. I'm looking to take them out in front of this crowd, but I expect it to be a good game.
Nice. All right, nothing. Senhoras, mousesports.
There's nothing, once again, addressing the crowd and addressing the win. He's just feeling they're playing chill Counter-Strike. And I think the crowd absolutely giving him the appreciation he deserves. It's going to be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. But first, I want to return to some of the conversations we've had. I can barely hear you. I don't know what's happened here. I feel like my ears are underwater.
It could be the horns. Could be a lot of different things. But yeah, I mean, you could see nothing there, just like graceful in victory. He knows exactly how to compose himself. That's really good stuff. But this whole team is clicking. The story about it is going to be nothing standing in, and that's all well and good. But Sonny, Rops, Chris J, that kind of trio, even without Oscar, they're still clicking, and they've been kind of the heart and soul of this team for some time now. And I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of them. It's actually really cool. I don't think they're going to be a pushover for FaZe in any sense.
No, I agree. I've been impressed by Robs for a long time now, and I feel ever since people would try and attack his bomb site, he's always good for a double, for a triple kill. Sonny as well. I feel like I don't see so many Sonny's kills, but he always ends up with 25, 26 kills, you know? So he must be one of these...
You're setting up a meme right now, aren't you? Yeah. You don't always remember a Sonny kill?
No, but really, maybe that's because I'm a B anchor myself, so I remember more. I have some kind of bias.
Sure.
But Sonny's always up there in the charts, constantly. And, I mean, amazing performance from him as well.
Yeah, he seems to like almost be at a new level, which is really cool. It would be awesome to be able to talk to him before an event and be like, what's changed? Him and Rops, I think that rifling pair, because it's interesting seeing, we've talked about how deep this team is, this mousesports squad, as they've kind of risen, but their power has always really come from Oscar with the AWP, Chris J with the second op, and now you have these two riflers that are just doing stellar work for them throughout this event, and that's kind of really cool to see. And it is tough for SK to kind of take this loss. I mean, again, this is twice now they've lost on home crowd. That's a bit rough to deal with. I mentioned before this game started, it all came down to those first 6 rounds of this half, and SK got out to the exact start you wanted them to. That's just the second round they lost, the inability to find an answer on how to get entries on that outer bomb site later on in their offense. It all just came crumbling down, which is a shame.
And when you take a look at, you talked about their T-sides, SK's T-sides, the point you made prior. They have what? Let me do the maths real quick here. 4 + 2, Alex, that's 6.
Nice.
There we go. They got 6 T rounds in that 2-map series. That's just not good enough, I think, is going to be the bottom line here.
Especially on a map like Dust 2, where it's closer to even than anything. Like, you can rack up the T rounds. We've seen teams have phenomenal T halves on both, multiple teams do it. And yeah, I think that's where they're going to have to kind of figure out how they want to roll it. Because you almost feel like Stewie, as a player, his strengths kind of, as an entry player, are really, really unique, that he's willing to do that.
Sure.
And it almost feels like they want to play more of a pick style, where they kind of want to play a little bit more freewheeling, a little bit more see what happens, and then everyone kind of makes their play off that, like old school Swedish style.
Yeah.
And it just feels like something's not clicking. And I don't necessarily think it's Stewie's the problem, but they've still got some work to kind of figure out on that offensive side.
But I do want to make it so clear that this is an improvement from the SK we've seen in the past since their addition of Stewie. It's not going to be fixed overnight. They got themselves to a semi-final stage. They clearly have their CT sides worked out. They're clearly communicating better than they have in the past. But I do think this is a process. There's 2 members I can name from SK that are less comfortable with their English than the others. Those 2 players still have to get around that obstacle as well while trying to compete at the world level.
No, absolutely. I think changing Taco to Stewie, all the changes when it comes to the structure of the game, to the language, to the roles of each player, this is not an overnight process. It's something that takes time. And I think it's also very hard when you're trying to bring a new structure to the game, it's hard to get to the point where everyone is satisfied and used to their best. Maybe people have to make concessions, maybe this player would like to do that or this. So you kind of have to find a compromise, and maybe for an event you go for one solution, you come back home.
Try something else.
Exactly, you discuss what happened, and maybe you make some adjustments. So definitely a process.
It was very different vibes, team vibes, stepping onto that stage. You had mousesports who just all smiles, nothing to lose, everything to gain. And they got it.
Yeah, and they're the team that kind of had a set plan. They're adding someone into an already structured team.
Yeah.
So for SK, it's a little bit more difficult. You're doing that on the fly. And if you're SK, again, this is it's not any kind of panic mode for me, at least. I'm still giving them that grace period of saying, you had a phenomenal 2 years. We look at the players they have. They're going to figure this out, in my opinion. And they set goals, right? You have the major coming up in a couple months. And if you haven't found a solution by the end of the major, you readdress the situation and see what happens from there. But you have that easy to set goal that's, you know, at the end of September.
And I think that sounds more reasonable than anything else, is just having a clear, not cut off, but as in a clear mark where we will, it's like very businessy. A clear mark where we're going to readdress, you know, reevaluate and all of that good stuff. But yes, that certainly does sound like a good plan from Jason there. Let's just quickly recap our day as well. We do have, of course, a grand final locked in now. It's FaZe Clan who picked up the first win of the day. They played a best of 3 versus Team Liquid, and the North Americans and, of course, the South Americans couldn't quite do it. It was a spectacular display from Guardian on Nuke. Opened it up, was pistol or AWP, it didn't matter. He had a spectacular performance, and so did FaZe Clan. This was ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really stop Guardian when he's in this mode. This was a beautiful performance from him and all of FaZe, really. And I also think, you know, let's not lose the context of the fact that Kerrigan completely outplayed Liquid in that map veto process.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. I think what is extremely scary for FaZe is that you have so many different players that can just show up and take over.
Yeah.
Guardian's the one. Nico, obviously. You have Rain, who's, in my opinion, one of the best anchor in the game right now. So they are a scary team to face for sure.
Look at Rain's pistol. I missed that one when it was live. That's insane. Just a little turret spinning around 180.
It was absolutely beautiful, and it also highlighted a lot of the deficiencies we've seen out of Team Liquid, is that he should have never been allowed to walk up into that position unseen or uncalled.
Yeah.
And you have to say, this Liquid team, I keep comparing them and calling them a mini Astralis, and I think probably the best case for that is this is a team that is mentally very fragile.
I mean, they choked in the semifinals, but
Yes.
I mean, maybe they are a mini Astralis.
Exactly. No, but they do tilt, and you know, when you see that Guardian clutch on Nuke, 3 versus 1 that he wins, that's a point where in my head I'm just saying, well, Liquid's going to be just completely off center, communication's going to be very low. That's a team that'll get quiet, and that's the next evolution for that team, is can they get over that mental hurdle? And this is just, you know, a pretty dominant win from FaZe across 2 maps, a close loss on Dust 2. So pretty convincing overall for a 3-map series.
Yeah, the Dust 2 was one that we definitely cannot forget. It was Liquid showing that they have got more maps, more strings to their bow. Bad analogy, Alex. You only need 1 string for your bow, so.
I liked it.
Yeah.
You never know. There's compact bows, I think, that have multiple.
Is there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about a longbow, a British longbow.
The old
you know,
school
I'm shooting
stuff, yeah,
at
like
French,
Robin Hood type stuff.
Or anyone else. Sorry, Maniac. The Swiss weren't medieval. They didn't even have a medieval phase. They were just hanging out at Lake Geneva.
Aren't they just like kind of like the neutral people and everything?
Yeah, oh, they
they
just
are
chill
pretty
out. Honestly, the fact that we have a Swiss person talking about Counter-Strike is beyond me. I don't think, you know, you don't even know what combat is. You're just hanging out, chilling.
Here to analyze.
With your cool flag. That's right, yeah. He's not playing anymore. Jokes aside, though, we should probably start wrapping this one up. Just going to bring up those playoff brackets so you can understand exactly how things look in tomorrow and how we got there. We haven't really recapped it, but just so you have it in front of you, FaZe, of course, will be taking on mousesports. And it is worth noting a best of 5, a full marathon of Counter-Strike tomorrow. We're going to be seeing, as Jordan said, a bloodbath, as it's going to be, of course, all those different individuals, both operating with a ringer. And I just can't wait to get it started. We can't do that without having ending today. So we're going to go ahead and do it. So a big thank you from myself, from Jason, of course, Maniac, and the other guys hanging out as well. We will see you tomorrow here in the arena, and I'm sure the crowd will show up once again to witness the passion of Counter-Strike. They say they've got it. We'll see tomorrow.